Okay. Welcome, it's Desiree Stafford to today's live stream. I am the creator of Radical Freedom, and today we're talking about why your offers or your programs are not selling consistently. I just had to laugh at myself for a moment because when I first started the live stream, it told me that I didn't have signal, and I was making all kinds of funny faces at my phone, and I think you may have caught that. So anyway, what we're talking about today is, why your programs are not selling consistently, because I see this in the marketplace often. Many of the clients that come to me, they have programs, but they're not selling them. I was in that space for a long time as well, so I understand the frustration that you may feel if you're experiencing that. So I want to share with you some of the reasons why that might be occurring. So I want you to think about for a little bit. Do you find yourself marketing consistently, like you're showing up every day, you're posting, you're live streaming, you're doing webinars, whatever it is that you're doing in your business, and maybe people are liking, so they're showing up, they're liking, they're maybe even commenting, but they're not taking that next step. They're not, if you put an offer out there, they're not jumping on the offer. They're not sending you the private messages. Or maybe they are doing those things. Maybe they are reaching out. Maybe they are getting on the phone with you, but they're not ready to move forward, right? So your programs don't sell, and that can create a sense of frustration. It can create fear. It can create anxiety. That's not going to be helpful to you, right? Because you've got gifts, skills, and talents to offer. You have an expertise that can help someone transform their experience. So you need to sell, right? Because that's the only way to really help people. So let's talk about some of the things that get in the way, all right? Now, before we do that, I want you to imagine for yourself what it would be like if you could turn your situation around. If you could actually, charge $3,000 to $10,000 or $20,000, whatever that number is for you. Thanks for the love, Sherilyn. How are you? Whatever that number is for you, if you could actually charge those amounts and receive them consistently and receive them with grace, right? So you're not going to feel like that anxiety of pushing away the money, but really receive them with grace. And imagine what that would do for you. Imagine what it would be like to charge thousands of dollars for what you already know how to do and not have to market as much. The free time that would save you and how that would really allow you to show up refreshed to serve the clients that you're working with. Imagine what that would be like for you, because that's what's possible when you sort out what's actually blocking you, what's actually getting in the way. So let's talk about that. What is getting in the way of you taking your gifts, skills, and talents and being able to support your clients, help them get amazing transformations, but also be able to support yourself, right? To be able to receive the funds to live a life as big as your purpose, right? So what I've noticed, one of the biggest things, and you probably have heard me talk about this before if you've attended my trainings before, one of the biggest things is that you simply lack confidence, right? This is one of the biggest reasons why people are not selling consistently. So maybe you're not fully owning your brilliance. So you know that you have gifts, skills, and talents, but there's this kind of hesitation, there's this doubt, am I really good enough? That can come in the way. And, you're not really sure, can I really charge this amount of money? Am I going to be able to deliver, not just charge it, but am I also going to be able to deliver on that offer? And so sometimes that lack of confidence can take you out of the game, okay? Even if you're showing up every day, subconsciously, you can be resisting clients, all right, and resisting sales. You could also, kind of have that, well, who's really going to pay me thing going on for you, right? And that really comes from, in my opinion, it comes from a lack of confidence. And it's also really not understanding the value that your clients receive when they work with you, right? And so that's a total mindset shift. You have to really be able to look at what you're offering and the result that a client gets. And you have to be able to see with your own eyes why it's worth way more than what you're actually charging. So that's really looking at, what are the lifetime benefits that a client gets from working with you? Not just that initial result that they get, whatever that initial transformation is, but, what are the ripple effects of that transformation? You want to look at that so you feel really confident that when someone works with you, you change their life, right? Even if you're working with them on saving their business, or even if you're working with them on losing weight, or, feeling more connected in their relationships, or any of those kind of things, you have to realize how that then impacts the rest of their life. When you start looking at things from that perspective, it gives you a lot more confidence to stand in your feet. All right. Thanks for the love, by the way. Hey, Sharik, how are you? Okay. So the second thing is often a lack of strategy. All right. I always do mindset first because I think that's the most important thing. But the second part is strategy. And you want to make sure that whatever strategy you're implementing is a strategy that, number one, is not going to burn you out. Because if it burns you out, it's going to impact your energy, right? And if your energy is impacted, if your energy feels kind of heavy, number one, you can start sending subconscious messages to your clients that turn them off. That could be number one. But number two, you're just not available to really share who you are and connect with the right people, or even show up for the clients that you do currently have so that you can serve them in the way that you want. So I like to promote, make it simple, make it elegant when you're doing your marketing, so it's not burning you out. Now, you also need to make sure whatever strategy you're implementing really is attracting qualified leads, right? Because that's why you'll get on the phone with people who are like, yeah, well, kind of, I have this problem, but I'm not really ready to solve it, or I need to think about it, or, it's too expensive, or any of that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that your marketing is pre-qualifying people for you. It's pre-selling them. So by the time they get on the phone with you, it's like, I know I have to work with you no matter the price. That's the kind of feeling you want to create in people. So you need for your marketing to answer two questions. It's got to answer why you, because there's a shit ton of other coaches out there in the marketplace, or, mentors, or whatever it is that you call yourself. So why you? Why should your prospects choose you over anyone else? Your marketing needs to answer that. It also needs to answer why now. Okay. People have been in pain for a long time, right? So why is now the time that they're going to come up off of $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, or whatever that number is to make the investment with you now? You've got to be able to communicate that through your marketing. Okay. The third thing is you need to make sure that your offers have a clear outcome. This is a thing that's so interesting because as coaches, we know our stuff, right? We know what we're good at. We know what the client is going to get. And we're so excited about all the steps that we're going to take them through to help them get the transformation. But oftentimes we speak in terms of process, but we're not really clear on the overall outcome that someone's going to get. So a lot of times we'll get ourselves stuck in this place of, well, my work does so many different things. Of course it does. It's transformational, right? But there has to be one clear outcome, right? There's got to be one clear result that your clients can bank on. It's got to be one main promise, right? And then, of course, you can share with them the additional benefits, but you've got to address that main problem that they're looking for a solution to, right? And that's one of the areas, if your marketing doesn't address that, and you're not clear on that, especially when you're in the sales conversation and you're trying to talk to them about your program, that's going to hurt you, right? The fourth thing is that you're not selling a program that's based on your zone of genius, okay? That's a big deal because there's so many of us in the marketplace, and I'm going to raise my hand and be honest, I was one of them, who we sell things that we think will sell because this is what your coach or your mentor told you need to sell because that's what's going to sell, when really you want to sell something else. Now, here's the thing. What I'm really about, I do mindset and I do marketing. What I'm really about at my core is empowerment. My whole mission in life is to help other women feel empowered, right? I do it through business because if a woman feels empowered through business, then she can make the money that she wants to be at choice in every single area of her life. That's what I'm about, okay? Now, I happen to be really good at marketing. I happen to be really good at mindset stuff. So I sell that stuff because I'm really good at it. And I'm able to incorporate that with what I do the best so that I feel like I'm in alignment. But most people are not doing that. Most people, they want to sell a certain thing, but they're not selling that thing. Like they're doing, I don't know, marketing training, they're doing sales, they're doing this, they're doing that, but that's not who they really are, or that's not what they're really passionate about. So you've got to make sure that whatever it is that you're selling, you're really passionate about. For example, even though I do marketing, I don't do all kinds of marketing. If you want to do a launch, I'm not your girl. You know what I mean? That's just not what I do. So I'm very clear on what I'm strong at and what I'm not strong at. You need to be clear on what you're strong at and what you're not strong at, and just sell that. Make sure whatever you're selling is within your zone of genius, because number one, you're going to feel much more in alignment, and that's going to allow people to trust you, right? But the second thing is you're going to be happier. Right? You're going to be able to deliver on the offer and feel like, you know what, I'm really good at this. And that's when your clients are going to get the best results. But when you're trying to force yourself into doing something, the passion goes away, the confidence goes away, and you don't need that, right? You need to be able to be confident. You need to be able to have the conviction so that you can help your clients move past their fear, right? Because even if they want the result that your offer, your program can help them achieve, there is still some fear there. Maybe they've tried before and they failed and they haven't gotten the result. Maybe, it's a big financial commitment for them, even though they want it. So you can't have any fear, right? You can't have this kind of doubt about yourself. Well, I'm not really sure this is who I am or this is what I want to do. You can't have that. You've got to be selling something that's coming from your zone of genius. Cool? All right. So, hey, Delene, hey, Trisha, how are you? So glad you guys are all here. Let me recap what I've talked about so far. And then if anyone has any questions, actually, in the meantime, you can shoot them out at me. All right. So we're talking today about what stops your programs from selling consistently. Okay. So what I've shared so far is the number one thing is a lack of confidence, right? Either you're not really owning your brilliance or you're not really confident or clear in the value that your program provides to people, right? Because you have to be confident in those areas and you have to be able to communicate the value to your potential clients. All right. The second area where people typically struggle, which is why the clients aren't coming consistently or the sales are not coming consistently, is a lack of strategy, right? And when I talk about strategy, I like to encourage my clients to simplify strategy. That's number one. But then you need to make sure that whatever strategy you're implementing through your marketing, you are communicating to people why you. So why should they choose you out of the millions of coaches and, healers and consultants and mentors out there? Why should they choose you? And why should they take action now? Your marketing needs to communicate that regardless of what strategy you use, whether you're doing Facebook posts, whether you're doing live streams, whether you're doing webinars, whatever it is, right? Your marketing needs to communicate that because that's when the marketing starts working for you. That's when your marketing actually starts filtering for you. Number one, the people who are not your fit. It will attract the people who are your fit, but it will also pre-sell them on working with you. Makes your sales process so much easier. Everybody's happy, okay? The third thing is you need to make sure that your programs have a clearly defined result or outcome, okay? Because so many times we get stuck in our process and we love to go on and on about, all the steps we take a client through to help them get results, but they don't really care. What they care about is the clear results. So make sure you're clear about the results, specifically if you're someone who is offering a transformational program, okay? The fourth thing is you need to make sure you're selling within your zone of genius. Don't just sell other things because you think they will sell. Sell what is unique to you based on your magic, right? And your magic is, let me rephrase that. When I say sell what's unique to you, what I mean to say about that is sell what you were put on this earth to sell, meaning whatever programs you put out there, and this is how you do make the programs unique, they need to be based on your magic. They need to be based on a combination of your gift, skills, and talents. That is your magic. That is what separates you from every other relationship coach, every other mindset coach, every other business coach, right? That's what separates you. And that needs to be the core element of your programs. And you need to be basing your programs on your magic. Right? That's what I mean when I say sell from your zone of genius, not just what you think will sell or what someone else suggested to you will sell, because you're not going to be happy, number one, and your happiness is very important to how you show up in the world and how you show up with your clients. But you also need to make sure that you are qualified to be coaching people, right? You can't, you know what? I don't know that I want to say that, because a lot of times when people are selling things that are not necessarily their zone of genius, it's not that they're not qualified. It's that they're taking, let's say, for example, what they've done at a corporate job, and they were good at it at the corporate job, and then they bring it into their world as an entrepreneur and start to sell that. That's okay, because you do have the expertise behind you. What I'm talking about, though, is you really want to be passionate. Oh, my signal is weak. Sorry about that. You really want to be. Okay, did I lose anybody? It keeps saying my connection is weak. Okay. My train of thought, what was I saying? You want to sell what you were born to sell, what lights you up, because that is what you're really meant to make the most money for. I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't, ask me and I will answer. Okay. Hey, Gosha, how are you? Examples of why me and not anyone else. Okay. So part of what I teach is irresistible influence to my clients. So, that kind of answers the question of why you and why now. One of the examples of why you would be, what's your story and how is that parallel to what your potential clients are going through right now, right? Because you want to create a sense of connection. You want to create a sense of relatability. That's number one. You also want to be able to show people that you've been where they are and you've created a solution based on that can help them get a result. That answers part of the why you. Okay. When you think about why now, part of that comes from really understanding not only the pain a person is in, but also what it's costing them to not solve the problem. And I also teach my clients psychological triggers that really you can implement into your marketing that also help to influence a person or make a person feel compelled to want to take action, which would be investing in your program now versus later. Cool? I hope that answers your question. Anyone else with a question before you wrap up? Let me see. All right, my friends, I am going to let you go. Thank you for the love. Oh, if you are someone who wants to add 6 figures to your business and you want to do it in a fast and simple way, then I invite you to reach out to me at DesireeStafford.com/session. We can talk about some of the programs that I have available right now. Because what I really am interested in, I've shared this already in today's broadcast, is really helping you make the kind of money that you want and deserve and do that in a way that lights you up. But it also, serves your clients to the best of your ability, and it also gives you the free time that you desire. It gives you the emotional freedom that you desire. It gives you the mental freedom that you desire. That's why I call my program Radical Freedom, because it allows you to experience freedom on so many different levels, not just financial, which is important, but it's not all we want, right? We want to experience freedom in all aspects of our lives. We really want to be able to be at choice. So if you're someone who wants to achieve 6 figures in your business and you want to be at choice with how you do that, then check me out at DesireeStafford.com/session. If you have any other questions and you're watching the replay, feel free to type your questions into the comment box and I will be sure to answer you. All right. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Awesome. Thanks for joining, guys. Take care.